why, of course, it holds such a place of honor inside of the greatest art museum on Earth. Do you know that also Rachel Zegler thinks she's the winged victory? I just can't get over this clip.
To everyone, people will wait in line to see.
So what's interesting about this, and if you're just a dingbat 20-year-old actress who was plucked from obscurity thanks to Steven Spielberg, and you're from New Jersey, and you really, you got nothing going for you, except for the Hollywood movies that you ruined, it's probably best just not to compare yourself to priceless, historic art.
Rachel Zegler threatens to leave London. Mayor fires back with brutal statement. That's the headline everyone's buzzing about. And trust me, this isn't another celebrity meltdown. It's a full-blown cultural showdown that's shaking up Hollywood and the West End. From dramatic balcony moments to veiled political warfare, we're diving into every twist and turn. Ready? Let's go.
Theater kid, based princess. They're calling her based now. Words have no more meaning. After breaking records on Broadway, the 24-year-old actor is playing her dream part in London's West End. No amount of bullying or scandal can change that. See?
Before the furor, there was a young star on the rise. Rachel Zegler exploded onto the scene playing Snow White for Disney, earning rave reviews for her powerful voice and youthful charm. But that charm masked the storm to come. Remember when she canceled promotional interviews early on? Insiders whispered that she was already showing signs of diva behavior. Short with hosts, quick to correct questions. Fans chalked it up to nerves, but industry types saw red flags. A fun anecdote: on the Snow White press tour, she reportedly insisted Disney provide her own personal dressing room. Behind the scenes, the team joked, "Someone bubble wrap the spiral staircase before we wrap her in royal blue velvet." Fast forward to London, and Rachel's audition tape? A home-recorded video in a messy LA apartment. Not a stage or studio. A raw, gritty opener meant to showcase her grit and connection to Eva Perón's fiery spirit. Judges were sold instantly, and soon, Evita in the West End was hers. It was supposed to be a show-stopping moment. Rachel Zegler, the new queen of the West End, stepping onto the grand balcony in full Eva Perón regalia, framed by golden lighting and swirling smoke. But instead of applause, it triggered an internet meltdown that nobody saw coming. The scene was meant to pay homage to Evita's most iconic image, Eva addressing the masses, arms raised, eyes wide with conviction. But when Rachel emerged, cloaked in a dramatic white gown, elevated like a monarch above the audience, critics didn't see passion. They saw propaganda. Within hours, social media was ablaze. Users on X, formerly Twitter, flooded timelines with comparisons to infamous historical figures. "Tell me this isn't giving Mussolini vibes," one post read, racking up 3 million views in a matter of hours. Another viral tweet combined Zegler's pose with the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song and the caption, "When the actress forgets she's not actually ruling a nation." What was meant to be theatrical flair became meme fodder. Aesthetic analysis turned into political commentary. The drama of Evita spilled off the stage and onto the streets of London, and the backlash was just beginning. Behind the curtain, sources say Rachel knew the balcony scene would be provocative, but not divisive. It was bold, but she wanted bold, said one lighting designer. "She told us, let them talk." I don't think she expected this kind of talking. Crew members reported tension backstage immediately after opening night, with some whispering. She hijacked the show for a social statement, and the audience torn, while some leaped to their feet in standing ovation. Others left murmuring, Did we just witness art or ego? The next morning, Rachel's balcony moment had been gifted, memed, sliced, and diced across every social platform imaginable. What should have been a career-defining moment had turned her into the internet's punching bag. The tabloids were merciless. The Daily Mail ran with the headline, "Zegler or Zealot? Fans split over Evita's diva." The Sun followed up with, "From Disney to dictator, Rachel's cringeworthy London takeover." But it wasn't just the usual clickbait factories. Reputable outlets like The Guardian and Variety UK weighed in, questioning whether Zegler understood the cultural context of portraying historical power in post-Brexit Britain. What hurt more? The fans. Loyal supporters who'd followed Rachel from her West Side Story breakout and cheered her Disney debut suddenly voiced doubt. A viral TikTok stitched together Zegler's balcony entrance with clips of her past. Interviews where she'd boldly stated, "I want to be the most honest version of myself, even if it makes people uncomfortable." The caption read, "Well, we're uncomfortable. Congrats." Worse yet, old interviews resurfaced. One clip, barely a year old, showed Zegler claiming she begged to be cast in Evita, proclaiming she was ready to shake the dust off this city. It was meant to sound passionate. Now, it sounded cocky, especially after the balcony fiasco. Industry insiders didn't hold back. One anonymous critic told StageBeat UK, "Rachel Zegler wants to be Barbra Streisand without paying Streisand's dues. Confidence without context doesn't play well in London." Meanwhile, fellow cast members started feeling the heat. One quietly told press, "The focus has shifted from the show to her. It's no longer Evita, it's Zegler, the musical." Rachel's team scrambled. PR reps called it an artistic misread and tried to pivot attention to her vocal performance. But the media was locked in. Backlash wasn't just professional, it was personal. And the storm was about to move from tabloids to City Hall. What began as a theatrical controversy morphed into a full-blown political dust-up, the likes of which the West End hadn't seen in years. City Hall started getting complaints, some from high-profile donors, others from ordinary citizens who were simply uncomfortable with what they saw as American sensationalism invading British culture. Emails poured in accusing Zegler of disrespecting the historical and political nuances of London's theater tradition. At first, officials stayed quiet. But silence doesn't last long when controversy threatens civic pride. By midweek, whispers turned into statements. London council members, many of whom held strong ties to the arts community, began questioning whether the city's support for the production should continue. The breaking point? A leaked internal message from a mayoral aide that simply read, "London doesn't negotiate with narcissists." Boom. That quote hit the press like a grenade. It was brutal, direct, and echoed the sentiments of a city tired of the drama. Soon after, the mayor's office released an official but pointed statement. "London embraces bold art, but demands mutual respect. We don't tolerate contempt for our history, our audiences, or our institutions." Translation? Rachel Zegler may have talent, but she was now officially on the wrong side of the city's favor. And then came the visuals. Posters featuring Zegler's image began disappearing from tube stations and bus stops. Promotional events with city sponsors were quietly canceled. It wasn't just backlash, it was erasure. The message was clear. London was moving on, with or without her. Insiders close to the production admitted morale took a nosedive. "When the city turns on you, everything gets harder," one producer said. Marketing, funding, even future venues were suddenly walking on eggshells. Some feared the situation could escape. To diplomatic levels, an American star publicly scolded by London's political elite. One gossip columnist quipped, "At this point, all we need is the US Embassy to issue a statement." Rachel, reportedly blindsided by the intensity of the political response, issued a private plea to producers, asking for support in countering the narrative. But the damage had been done. What started as one dramatic moment on a balcony had turned into an all-out war between celebrity culture and civic pride. And in London, where theater isn't just entertainment but a cornerstone of identity, that war was deeply personal. Production suddenly hit turbulence. Cast corridors buzzing with whispers. She's not team, she's trying to hijack the show. One actor reportedly joked, "She's making it a one-woman show, and we're all wrong side of cast members." The producers faced a nightmare. Lose the lead or lose the city's support. And losing London's goodwill? That's not just a PR problem. It hits funding, FUT. Shows, sponsorship deals. Investors started calling it the balcony crisis. Casting directors in LA started saying no, even to screen tests. One UK producer, under anonymity, admitted, "When controversy follows you across borders, people start asking if the problem is the person, not the project." There were rumors that Rachel might be quietly blacklisted in the UK. No bans documented yet, but cold casting calls and unexplained losses of roles are a strong sign. Here's where it got explosive. Rachel's team reportedly sent a message to producers. Unless the toxic environment affecting her was addressed, she'd quit Evita mid-run. Allegations cited misogyny, xenophobia, and media bullying. Castmates were stunned. One anonymous insider said, "She's turning this into a one-woman show." Producers were torn. The show couldn't risk losing its star, especially after huge marketing costs and early buzz. But caving would undermine the mayor's office. The tension split the team. Baxter versus balcony, Flash versus respect. When the ultimatum leaked, boom, the mayor's office didn't retreat. They escalated. London doesn't negotiate with narcissists. Respect goes both ways. And before the day was out, city-affiliated posters of Evita, featuring Zegler, vanished from key transport hubs. It was a public rebuke, theater style. That's not theater gossip, political drama. When a city erases your face from its billboards, it's a sign. Someone's lost control. Now the world is divided. Hashtag Team Rachel calls it gendered pushback, a star chastened for refusing to play small. Celebrity allies quietly like her posts. One actress even reshared a clip, captioning, "Let her shine, don't dim her for discomfort." Hashtag Team London pitchforks out for diva behavior, disrespect, arrogance. Critics point out her privileged performance, overshadowing true artistry. Memes show her with dictator-style mustaches and red narcissist stamps. Even neutral voices can't stay away. Podcasts, you. Commentary panels. Even BBC Culture did a segment titled Evita or Diva. An insider claims Tom Holland texted Rachel, "Stay strong," but deleted it fearing backlash. Rumor has it Emma Watson expressed admiration for her boldness, though kept it private. A Broadway legend allegedly advised her, "Sometimes less is more. The best applause is one that comes when the curtain falls." Meanwhile, parallels popped up with other recent celeb controversies. Zendaya's sudden return to Euphoria, sets being delayed after her big political speech, and Justin Bieber's global stage protests earlier this year. Artistic statements meet political reactions, and celebrities are quickly learning. They're painted not just as performers, but as cultural leaders. Evita continues, and every night, critics are watching who's in the front row. Promo materials still missing from city hubs. Symbolic or strategic? Rachel's future in UK theater hangs in the balance. Walk out, stand firm, or negotiate quietly. US projects? Agents smell opportunity and risk. She might pivot back to film. Or fistfight studio execs over her image. Hollywood insiders are whispering, is she too volatile for big studios? Or is she a trendsetter who refuses to fit conventional molds? This is more than balcony drama. It's a collision of fame versus accountability, confidence versus humility, artistic vision versus serenity, cultural respect. If Rachel stands her ground and storms back with stellar performances, and Evita remains packed, this could be her defining origin story, the star who wouldn't be quiet. But if she walks away, no show, no future in London, it becomes a cautionary tale. Young talent who flew too close to the spotlight without understanding the landing zone. Rachel Zegler walked into London aiming to reinvent herself. Instead, she sparked a cultural firestorm. Maria from Midtown may never look at balcony entrances the same, while theater insiders are already speculating which stage next. Will she stay and reclaim narrative with her voice? Will she exit under the spotlight's glare, label intact? Or will she re-emerge on screen, stage left, with lessons learned or scars shown? One thing's sure, the story isn't done. Want the next chapter? Subscribe, hit that bell, because the showdown between superstar and city may be the biggest performance yet.